Okay, hello friends, this is Colonel Mohinder Pal Singh, Director AMAS, and today I have with me two of our successful candidates, Tarun Alawat, who has recently cracked his SSB for NCC 48 course, which is starting next month at OTA, and Tarun has also come in the merit All India ranking 1. We also have today with us Naveen Sailor, who has been also our student, and he has cracked SSB twice in the last 2 months for SSC Tech as well as PGC. So today I will be just interacting with them. In fact, both of them have been our online course students, and I want to put across this point: how did they prepare for SSB and how did they finally perform in SSB? What tips they would like to give to our prospective students or future students who plan to prepare for SSB. So let me first go over to Tarun and ask him, Tarun, you have been a student on an online course. So how did, after doing the online course, how did you prepare? Because I think you had about a month and a half with you, before you went for SSB. So what points did you keep in mind, and what all first areas you made for yourself before you reached SSB?
So as I started my online coaching, I wrote a timetable schedule. From morning to evening we were used to have our classes. After coaching got over, sir, I was practicing in that schedule only, sir. In the coaching, as you and other faculties told about my shortcomings and the mistakes which I am committing, so I work upon those things. Also, you tell few strengths of me, and I also work upon sharpening on them.
So coming specific to how did you prepare for stage 1, how did you prepare for psych? So just compartmentalize your preparation. So did you divide your time to all these things, or you continue to practice on one thing?
No, sir, I divided my time on the every stage of the SSB.
So for stage 1,
yes,
you do OIR. How much time you spent on OIR?
Sir, every day I used to practice OIR for 20 to 30 minutes, sir. So from the logical and both reasoning, verbal and non-verbal, sir, from a book. And for my stage 1, sir, I used to write a story on the picture. Also in the group, we used to practice in the evening, sir.
Yeah.
And I used to narrate that story every day loudly. For my psych, sir, I used to write 2 to 3 TETs, 60 WATs every day, and SRTs, 30 SRTs every day. SD I have already written in the coaching only, so I used to revise it every day, sir.
So what about your GTO, your lecturate and your GD? How did you prepare for that?
Sir, for my lecturate, I divided the topics which were given by you. So I used to every day practice 3 topics. First, I used to collect information on those topics. Then I used to memorize those. And then I used to deliver a speech in front of mirror for 3 minutes every day, sir.
So what we see is that Tarun followed this principle of preparation, of self-evaluation. So using mirror, so it's a very good idea to speak. So also I would like to tell our viewers that the students who do our course are also put into a WhatsApp group, which I personally monitor, and I make them do practice in the night classes. So maybe every day or sometimes alternate days. But that's also exposure which the students get. So now let's ask him about the interview. So how did you prepare for the point which you told about the interview?
So the biggest point which was told to me by the interviewing officer during the coaching was that you lack your knowledge in the technical, as I am from mechanical background, engineering. So he told me that you are lacking in your knowledge of the subject, sir.
Okay.
So I started preparing for that. I revised all my books from 8 to 12 standard, and thereafter I studied my engineering main subjects again, sir. I cleared all my concepts which are main in the engineering, sir, before my interview, sir.
So were you able to tackle the questions after your preparation in SSB?
Yes, sir, I was able to tackle. I was asked question about technical knowledge in my interview, and I was able to give answers, sir.
So we'll come back to you with your SSB experience. Let me go to now Naveen, who is also with us here. Naveen has cracked SSB 2 times. But Naveen also shared with us that he had been to SSB many times before. I think about 6-7 times before, 10 times before, and not successful. So that feeling was there. But then Naveen came to us in the month of March, and immediately once he had come, the lockdown took place. So and it was not opening up. So I told Naveen, don't worry, you do everything with a full-time online course, and he followed that. So Naveen, you did this full-time course somewhere in May, I think. May or June?
So in the month of August.
August, right. So how did your online preparation go, and did your concepts which you had been practicing earlier, what they changed with this? So after that, what was your line of preparation? over to you.
Sir, rightly brought out by you. I did 1 week of offline classes here in the AMAS training Greater Noida, and followed by 1 week of online practice with you, sir. So my concept changed because, sir, I was committing mistakes in the psychological part, like in the TAT. When you told about those concepts, like you have to put some masala and some action in the stories, and you also made us understand by the help of the Nike sign. These two concepts were very fascinating for me, sir, and I practiced with the help of these. And also rightly brought out by Tarun that in the night classes you used to put the pictures, and we were narrating the stories on that also, and we were writing, and you were, yes sir, lecture it also, and you were personally checking and giving remarks. And my story usually was getting good marks, and when it was not getting good marks, you said that you can learn from other stories. So I was reading the stories of those who were getting good remarks. This is how I learned and improved my TAT and WAT, sir.
So I also want to tell the viewers, Naveen is a working professional, and working professional means he works for 8 to 10 hours, and in spite of that he gave us time, he gave himself time to prepare. So that means that you don't really have to be totally idle to prepare for SSB. Being a working professional also, you can do this, right? So now coming back to their SSB experience, so in a nutshell, Tarun, let me first ask you, how was your stage 1? NCC entry must have been a large number of students reporting. Same must have been the SSC tech, right? So how did you tackle the PPDT? YR, I'm sure you must have both tackled well. How was the PPDT experience at stage?
Sir, as I was the chess number 1 and total 158 candidates reported on the first day. So as soon as picture was shown to me, sir, I write the story on the given picture,
Positive
sir.
story.
Yes, sir. On the positive story, it was related to farming, sir. When we came out, sir, as you told that don't get in chit chat with others.
Yeah.
Start narrating your story in your mind, sir. I practiced my story 6-7 times, sir, and I knew that I will be called first only because I was chess number 1.
So you were chess number 1?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great.
So I went inside, sir. I narrated my story confidently. I addressed to the whole group. After narrating my story, sir, I was listening to everybody's story, sir. As soon as the GD started, sir, I gave suggestion to take a story of one person who has written very well, and we started discussing it, sir. As the GTO sir asked for to give the common story, I asked the group, can I give the common story? So 16 out of the 18 nominated me to give the group story, sir.
So you gave the group story?
Yes, sir, I gave the group story.
Naveen, what was your experience of PPDT?
Sir, in my PPDT, the OI went good, and during that, in the Allahabad SSB, I was shown a picture in which a boy was sitting with something in his hand. So I made a good story that he is preparing for his UPSC preliminary examination, and I narrated it with full confidence as instructed by you. And then in the discussion part also, sir, I have participated and gave 2-3 good points so that I can contribute towards making the common group plan. And then in the end, sir, my story was picked for the common group story, sir.
And what about the Kapurthala attempt? How was the PPDT at TBC?
Yes, sir. Sir, in the Kapurthala attempt, around 150 candidates reported and 20 got screened in. And in that, we were shown a pic in which a lady was there in uniform and 2-3 candidates were lying on the ground with rifles in their hand. So I made a story that they are in the NCC camp and they are practicing for shooting. And in that also, sir, I narrated it with full confidence, and that story was also again picked up as the group story, sir.
So Naveen, now coming to your main SSB. So you had said that you had you thought earlier attempts your psychology was not so good.
Yes, sir.
So this time, how was your psychology and how many you attempted? Like the TATs, was you comfortable? How many VAT and how many SRTs you attempted?
Sir, in my both SSBs, I attempted 12 TATs and 60 WATs. In my Allahabad SSB, I did 55 SRTs, and in my Kapurthala SSB, I did 49 SRTs. The psychological part rightly brought out by Tarun that I was practicing it regularly, like in the group also, and I was taking regular pictures from the net, and I was practicing. And then I was self-evaluating that where I can improve that, where I can put more actions in that. This is how I was learning, and this is how I did, sir, improve.
How was your psychology test experience?
Sir, as we practice...
Could you get some photographs which we have done in the group here? Some photographs from
Yes,
there?
sir. Out of 12, 8 was from our group only, which I have practiced. So automatically I was motivated and confidence was high, so that I have get the picture which I have practiced, sir.
Right.
So then I moved to the VAT. As you told that you have to complete the VAT, sir.
Right.
So I completed all the 60 VATs. I wrote 55 SRT, sir. And SD I had already practiced, sir, so I completed SD within time, sir.
So coming to your interview, how much time did it last? Was there any tricky questions? Of course, technical questions in your case. Both of you are technical.
Yes,
essays. So what was it? How was the interview?
Sir, my interview lasted for more than 1 hour, sir. And they have asked me a question more about NCC, as I was from NCC background. They asked me a question about map reading, signals, communication set, sir. And then they came on to my technical. Then they asked about my family's hobbies and the spare time activities, sir. They also asked me why I want to join the army, which arm I will like to go, which unit, and why I want to go in that unit only, sir. They also asked me about the current news, sir, about the South China Sea, Philippines, and the South China Sea ruling given by the ICJ, sir. And also there were 2 officers in my interview, sir. So first officer said to me that, okay gentlemen, you may go. But the second officer stopped me and said that you sit down, I want to ask few questions. And he started taking questions again.
Followed another round of questions.
Yes, sir, it almost lasted for 25 minutes, sir.
Okay. So overall it went to more than 1 hour.
Yes, sir.
And it had a sprinkling of GK and LCD knowledge and all these things.
Yes, sir, about my sports also, about football, and about, they also gave me a situation that we have to organize a debate competition. So I gave the whole plan. Then they said that there is fire in the auditorium, how will you tackle it? And sir, they were again changing the situations for me, sir. In the NCC thing also, sir, they were changing situation for map reading, that you have to navigate, now compass is broken, sun, it's night time. And same in the case of communication, sir. So they were saying that we are not able to establish the communication. So I told them I will increase the antenna length. So he again changed the situation that it is not available. So I told that I will climb a tree. He said that it's a barren land. So I told that I will go to a high ground. He said that it's a flat land, you can't go.
So he kept changing situations.
Yes, sir, he continuously.
How was your interview experience, Naveen?
Sir, rightly brought out by Tarun, there were mixed of questions, like he threw technical questions, general knowledge questions. He also asked me about the artillery, as he was from artillery, that tell me the various arms and ammunition used in infantry, artillery and all that. Apart from this, various calculation questions were asked. One was that if 1000 revolution in a circle makes 88 km, then tell me the radius in meter.
So quick mental calculations.
Yes,
you have to do.
Yes, sir. He asked me 2-3 calculations. He also asked me about the technical questions, like how is data stored in cloud computing. This was a technical question asked to me. And GK questions were also asked to me, like the China-Pakistan economic corridor, Indo-Nepal relations, and prime ministers of the neighboring foreign countries.
Right. So interview lasted for how much time?
Sir, during my first recommendation, interview lasted for 45 minutes, and during my second recommendation, it lasted for 55 minutes.
So I'm sure your GTO also must have been comfortable, GD and all. So quick highlight about your GTO.
Sir, during both the times, my GTO went absolutely well. In the group discussion, I picked one lead and I kept adding more points to it with the right amount of data and examples. In the group planning exercise also, I was able to finish it in time with the format given by you. I wrote exactly in the very same format. During the group task like PGT, HGT, I was not standing on the starting line, but I was in the middle. I was giving ideas also and helping the other members.
How was your command task?
Sir, command task was very difficult. There were rotating structures everywhere, sir.
Okay. So he must have checked you with all the various types of ideas.
Yes,
right?
sir. Yes.
So how was your experience of GTO ground?
Sir, in my GTO, the first task was GP, sir. So I go, as you told by you in the coaching, sir, I wrote a good story, good points in the GP, sir. I actively participated in the group discussion. Thereafter in GD also, sir, I took a lead and I added my point on that thing, sir. I was not arguing with anybody, sir. I was sitting quietly when there was chaos in the group.
Okay.
When it came to a calm, I used to give my point, sir. In my PGT, sir, as we were fresher and most of us were not having any idea, so I was taking the lead and I was taking the group with me, sir. In my command task, sir, all the structures were rotating, sir. So when the GTO took me and gave me the briefing there, he said to me, he said to me, do you want me to change your structures? Then I said, no sir, I will tackle it. And initially I was not able to tackle. So he gave me a
rotatable structures take little time.
Yes, sir.
To understand how to modify the structure, and that they are high level command tasks. So I'm happy to get it.
Sir,
so let's finish this our interaction with the tips which the students are looking for. So what it would, Naveen, you would give to the future students who are preparing? What they should do, what they should not do, just whatever random comes to your mind.
So I think that SSB is a test of personality and it is a test of our daily routine. So the tips that I would like to give is that the students must make a very good routine, that is waking up early in the morning, and they should incorporate some kind of physical exercises in their daily routine. Also they should read for at least 30 minutes to 1 hour, because reading would strengthen their mind and would help them in the psychological test as well as in the interview. Plus they can also take professional mentoring from you, sir, because you can only help them know their mistakes where they are lacking, because I was lacking in the psychological part and I came to know that when I joined AMAS. So I improved, and apart from this we have to focus regularly on the general knowledge. I had made separate notebooks for the GK, in which one was for foreign relations, one was for other topics like foreign direct investment and all that. So I regularly made notes, sir. So I would like to give these tips to.
So Tarun, what tips would you give and how much would you recommend time where the candidates should devote for SSB?
Yes. Sir, as Naveen said that we should improve our personality, and as I have seen most of the candidates run behind the officer-like qualities, as you used to say in our coaching only. So I will say that you should not run behind the officer-like qualities. You should work on the improving yourself.
Yes.
Those qualities will come automatically inside you.
Right.
Secondly, sir, the communication skills plays a vital role. It should not be very high grade, but you should be able to communicate your ideas to the assessor, sir.
Correct.
And third, you should have a professional mentor who can guide you, who can take out your mistakes which you are committing, who can tell your who can tell your
How much
weaknesses.
time do you think is enough time for a person to prepare?
So, in my personal opinion, GK plays a vital role in the SSB, and we cannot prepare it in within 2 months or 3 months. So, a person should prepare GK for a long time and communication skills. Then we can fit into the SSB within frame 2 to 3 months, sir. We can fit if we have ample of the GK and communication skills, sir.
Naveen, how much time do you think daily you studied? Just let's say 1 month before the SSB.
Sir,
Daily, how much time you spend?
around, sir, 1 hour.
1 hour.
Yes, sir.
And how much then Tarun you spent?
So, before
So if you had lesser time, I know you had just about a month left with you.
yes, sir.
After you finished our course, you had a month. So how much time were you spending?
Sir, at that time I was spending around 8 to 9
8 to 9 hours.
hours.
Right?
Yes, sir.
So both of you, because Naveen, you have been a repeater and you knew the things.
Yes, sir.
You needed only to brush up.
Yes, sir.
And that's the reason I think you spent little time
Yes.
and you brushed it up. And Tarun being a fresher, he needed to put in more effort, and he realized that yes, I need to put in efforts and hone up all these things. And both of you achieved success.
My technical knowledge was also lacking,
Yeah,
so I was
studying
giving
that also.
yes, sir, a lot of
So
time.
I think we'll end this fantastic interaction with the two of our stars, Naveen and Tarun, and I'm sure the tips which they have given, the future students will listen to them carefully, imbibe them, and I'm sure you'll always achieve success if you follow it in letter and spirit. So best wishes to all of you, and best wishes to both of you for the
Thank you, sir.
Jai. Jai Hind to all AMAS aspirants who are watching this video. Today we have with us Tarun Elawat, one of our students of online batch, who had done his training in the month of July, and Tarun had gone for his SSB for NCC entry, NCC 45 course, and he had gone to 11 SSB Allahabad, and on 23rd September he cracked his SSB. And the best part is, when the merit list has come about 5 days back, Tarun has got merit All India ranking 1. It's a really proud moment for us at AMAS, who have been associated for guiding him. And as Tarun becomes the 68th successful candidate in our 2 years time of AMAS, it's a really proud moment to receive him. Though as you know, the academy is closed, we are having online sessions, and he was also an online student, but we opened for maintenance, and the time he being in Delhi, he has come and met us with of course a box of sweets, and we want to use this occasion to gift him the AMAS tie, which we give to all successful candidates. And it's a matter of real pride for me and for the team of AMAS to gift this tie to you, Tarun. It's a result of your hard work. So a lot of people think that this online training, how will it help? But you picked up the nuances of the training and you put them in the practical very well for SSB, and that's the result you deserve this time.
Thank you so much.
Wish you all the luck in your OTA, all the hard work, and I wish to see you a very good, fantastic officer.
Yes, sir.
And you had committed to join the particular regiment,
Yes,
and I
sir.
wish to see you in that regiment with the
sure, sir.
shoulders of that regiment on your shoulders. So stars of the regiment on your shoulders. So all the best.
Thank you so much, sir.
Jai Hind to all SSB aspirants and followers of our YouTube channel. Today we have with us Naveen Sehlot, who has been one of our AMAS online class students, and he has cracked his SSB twice. First time for SSC Tech, that was from Allahabad, 34 SSB on 27 September, and after that he again went for TGC SSB to Kapurthala, 32 SSB on 22nd November. He was successful in that, and in both the places he has also cleared the medical, and we are waiting for his merit list. We assume that he is going to do well in his merit list. Naveen has had these 2 successes, and so he is entitled to 2 ties. So I'll be gifting him 2 ties, for one for each success which he has gone on in SSB. And after this, we will be talking to Naveen, because Naveen had been to SSBs before, and I want him to share with our viewers how he tackled it, because most of the people think that if you are a repeater then you have very less chance, but here is a repeater in front of us who, in spite of his setbacks, cracked SSB twice. It's not an easy job. So that we will listen in our next interaction with him. So first let me gift him the 2 ties, one for SSC Tech success, and the second one for the success in Peace. So I wish you all the best, Naveen, and I wish that you soon join the academy and do well in your training and become a smart officer of the Indian Army. Yeah.